Michael Harrigan, retired FBI special agent and chief of the FBI National Academy program. Great to see you back here, Michael, and I appreciate you coming on so quickly here on the heels of the breaking news. FBI making an arrest after an almost 5-year investigation. Talk to that if you can.
Yeah, this is a fascinating investigation. Given the timeline since this occurred that long ago, points to the fact that the FBI and its partner agencies likely spent tens of thousands of hours here investigating this, running down exhaustive leads, everything from the shoes he was wearing to, looking at clothing, tips. Likely there were thousands of tips coming in on this. So to see this successfully concluded after 4 years is good. It's good for the American public to have an end to this case. And what we're all looking forward to hearing is how this investigation unfolded, how they got to the point of an arrest, and most importantly, who this individual is and whether he's part of a larger group or was a sole actor on his own.
Yeah, just watching some of the surveillance footage that we see of the suspect from the FBI, essentially canvassing the area, walking by the area with the backpack in tow, hooded. His face is covered. I'm looking at the video with you as you are now. Again, setting that down in that moment, just watching this here. Some of this released, how does the public, how important, how crucial is it for the public to have this video, some of the pictures you mentioned, the sneakers? How important is it not to discount the public?
Absolutely. In these cases, especially when cases go cold or they're extended periods of time, it can apply to anything, a homicide or any other type of case, is that public input is critical in these matters. And that's where the media's coverage of this is so important, to make sure that these pictures, videos, and other information disseminated by the public information officers of the investigating agencies get out there and get to the public. I mean, you look at social media and how prevalent the 24/7 news cycle is now. You can reach pretty much every person in the country through a good publicity campaign. So we can't discount how important that was, and that could have possibly provided the tip on the identity that led investigators to then dial down into that tip and that individual and then start linking some of the evidence together.
I don't know if you know some of those that are still working with the FBI or not, or maybe you have any additional information. I'm sure you don't want to get ahead of the officials. We're waiting to see if they'll come out in front of this today. I imagine they would. This is a big deal. But Deputy Director Dan Bongino with the FBI, he's been focused on this investigation. And I bring that up because not to accuse the FBI under President Biden not focused on this, but there were no arrests made during that time. This happened once the new administration came in. Talk about transitions with different administrations. Does that have an impact on what's investigated, what takes priority, what takes precedent?
Absolutely. Whenever there's a change in leadership at the FBI or any other law enforcement agency, there's a change of focus. I mean, the deputy director is the one that assigns resources across the Bureau, and he determines the priority of investigations. So whether an investigation is, quote, labeled cold and personnel are cut back into a minimal skeletal staff potentially, or if the investigation is flooded with personnel, it's really up to the deputy director. Now, one other side of this is that we don't know how much information was out there during the transition. There could have been actionable intelligence, and the FBI could have been heavily engaged in this behind the scenes. Because when these cases are done, especially a potential terrorism connection like this, you have to be very careful and very methodical in your approach to the investigation. So there's a lot here, but clearly Bongino and the director made this a priority publicly, which could, on the other hand, reignite public interest and cause the public, to search for additional information, to keep their ears open, and to provide information they may have previously thought was not important, but now it is.
Very important. Michael Harrigan joining us, FBI retired. We do appreciate that. Good to see you. Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.